Hi, I'm Mark Glaze, Executive Director of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. As August begins, I want to give you an update on everything we're doing to keep the heat on Congress to take a second look at the background check bill that they rejected a couple months ago. This background check bill is something that has the support of 90% of the American public. So first of all, our coalition of mayors has had enormous growth over the past 6 months. We now have more than 1,000 mayors around the country, Republicans, Democrats, and independents. They're from big cities and small towns, from 46 states, and they represent 67 million Americans. Also, a lot of our mayors have come together with others to participate in our No More Names tour. It's a national drive to reduce gun violence. Our bus is traveling to 25 different states, including a lot of the states where senators whose minds we need to change live. And with mayors, faith leaders, survivors of gun violence, clergy, we're having some incredibly moving events in places like Newtown, Connecticut, where we kicked off the tour, and Aurora, Colorado, and also Oak Creek, Wisconsin, just a couple of days ago. We're actually going to be wrapping the No More Names tour in September, on the week when Congress comes back to do their work, so that we can send the message that we're still here and they need to keep working on this. And this month, we're also celebrating a goal that we've had in mind since the day we opened our doors. Todd Jones was confirmed last week as permanent director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. He's the top cop on guns. We haven't had one of those for 7 years because the gun lobby has kept the Senate from confirming one. So this is a real sign that the conversation is changing in Washington around guns, and Todd Jones is going to strongly enforce the gun laws that we have while you and we together try to make them stronger. But the most exciting work we're doing to me is at the state level. We're putting a lot of resources where we know they'll do the most good, and as a result, we're actually racking up some really impressive victories in some of the most pro-gun states in the nation. So we've had a series of legislative successes in the states, the biggest we've had in years. We persuaded the Republican legislature of North Carolina to reject an NRA attempt to get rid of that state's background check requirement for handgun sales. We persuaded both chambers of the Nevada legislature to pass a tough universal background check bill before the governor vetoed it and ignored 90% of his constituents. So we promise we're going to keep working as hard as we can to get these laws passed and keep communities safe. But what you're doing back home to influence your senators and representatives is just as important as anything we're doing here. So we really hope that during August, you'll reach out to these folks and talk to them and try to persuade them that they can do this, because until we speak out as loud and as long and as often as the NRA does and their supporters, members of Congress will keep making the wrong decisions, and we have to make it okay for them to make the right decisions. We're asking you to make a huge effort to see your senator or representative while they're home in August. You have to tell them that 33 more Americans are being murdered with guns every day, and the only way we can stop that is if they'll take action to fix a background check system that is filled with loopholes. 33 more Americans every day is a Newtown-scale tragedy every single day in this country. And until the Senate acts, we're not going to be able to stop it. And that's why you should tell your senator that this should be one of their top priorities. So on behalf of all of us at Mayors Against Illegal Guns, I want to thank you for everything you're doing and ask you to do a lot more in August. I hope you will. Have a great summer.